We're
live.
Yep.
It's alive.
Ah! My dad the watch link earlier, so I wonder if he'll make it on or not.
What's that?
I sent my dad the watch link for this earlier, so I don't know if he'll pop up in chat or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let me make sure that I'm showing as public here, because here lately, every time I do something, it seems like it always comes up.
It could be your default settings.
Yeah, it must be in my default. Something got changed.
I know you can set the default setting be either public, unlisted, or private.
Yeah, it looks like we're live. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, my friend? Yeah, this was not going to be dead air. You know, they demonetized it off the bat, then they remonetized it, and then they jerked it back away again. So it's up there demonetized now.
Let me really fast, while we're in the waiting around stages, I'll screenshot. I'll try and live show you guys through screen share currently what my status is like. So let's see.
See, we got Zipcord in the house. We got Curtis in the house. We got Joe. How you doing, my friend? Glad you could join us. Man,
so
we got Chris.
Knock on wood, the last two videos that I put up, the tons of expensive 3D prints unboxing and working on the club layout, and everything else except for the old copper pipe towel holder video, which was crappy, so I didn't do it, have oh wow, it was almost 500. Yeah, they have not yanked them yet, so knock on wood, I'm doing good so far.
That's good, but you don't have a picture. You were completely black there for a moment.
I give up on screen share, okay? I quit. I'm done.
C-dub out.
Good night.
Turns off the light. How you doing, Average Joe? Man, everybody's in the house tonight.
Oh man,
where's Daniel Norrie at? We need Daniel in here.
He's still in bed.
I think he is. There's what, like a 2-hour difference now in time?
Someone go call him up and tell him we're live and tell him we're not starting the show until he shows up.
That'll be after midnight.
He's at midnight. What's up, guys? I got my coffee. And we're all like, oh man, we got everybody in the house. We got my dad, we got Jeff, we got you, me, Curtis, Joe, AJ,
Aunt Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy. Chris. Yes, Chris, I'm wearing clothing and no, my hair's not getting cut. Deal with it. I gotta keep up that afro thing. I'm trying to go for that Bob Ross look, you know, Mr. Happy Trees guy from like those public access painting videos. I'm trying to become his clone.
I need to haul you off to the barber and let him just start whacking at it. I'm getting to the point where I'm needing it too.
Don't worry, you got a ways to go to catch up to me.
Yeah, I do.
I know when we're doing the live work on the Moai, I can like sneak up behind with a pair of scissors and just, you know. 5 seconds later, Jimmy has the scissors and is chasing me off set.
Well, you want to go ahead and start getting into it?
Might as well. We got a jump in house, so might as well.
Okay, so today's topic is tips for decision making based off of YouTube videos. With everything that's been going on lately on Twitter and everything, there's been a pretty good discussion about on YouTube videos if you can trust the reviews that you see online. And for the most part, I believe you can. But the thing is, there are certain aspects of it that I'm sure that people do need to take with a grain of salt as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the one thing I will say, just right off the bat with when I say in quotes a review video, I mean that in terms of, you know, everybody's got an opinion and everything like that. The first rule of thumb is if there is absolutely nothing that's mentioned in the video as a negative, or it's very much just like, oh, this glue bottle, I don't like the color of the bottle. Like if it's something super trivial like that, it's probably a sponsored spot that has not been notified, and or they probably don't know what they're talking about. So first thing of all, there's something like that. But yeah, I do agree that with all the recent drama regarding a certain 3D printing company, which will not be named on the show, feel free to say it in the chat, but we're not going to name them by name on the show. It's really brought to light the fact that there has been an ongoing issue with potentially paid review spots that were not notified, which is also a violation of YouTube's policy, as well as FTC laws in the United States. And because YouTube is located in the United States, to the best of my knowledge, even if you're outside the United States, you have to declare if the video contains sponsored content. If somebody's doing that and they're not notifying you, that's on them. But do note it does happen, and people have been taken down for it and other things like that. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, there's lots of more stuff that we're going to get into. But the very first thing is if somebody's giving a 1,000% positive review on something, it's probably fake.
Yeah, that's one thing I always look for whenever I watch reviews and stuff is whenever somebody gets on there and they're like, this is the greatest product on the face of the earth. You want this product. You have to have this product. It's the best thing that you'll ever get. And they never say anything about, well, you know, there is something about it I don't like, you know, and it's just straight up, this is it. I have a hard time believing that kind of a review, but yet there are a lot of people who are like, that's the greatest thing. I got to have it. And that's one thing I always have to watch. Anytime, even whenever I'm reviewing a video, a printer or anything, you got to take the good and the bad. And if you come across something bad, you have to bring it up. You have to, because if you don't and somebody else gets that and then they start having a problem with it, you know, that's going to come back and bite you. It's just going to.
No, totally. I mean, it's like, even in the case of my Ultimaker 2, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the machine, but in its stock form, one thing I would definitely have a problem with, and a lot of people did as well, was in the stock form, it had a one-piece heater and nozzle assembly. So back in the day, abrasive filaments were not really that big of a thing. It wasn't that big of a deal, but if you did need to change the heater block out or your temp sensor died or something like that, you pretty much had to just take the whole assembly and chuck it in the trash can and get a whole new heater block, temp sensor, and heater cartridge, which was going to run you at least 120 bucks. So when I bought the thing, I knew that was an issue. But there's a good example of a machine that I really like, but it has a minor issue in it that's definitely worth mentioning. Now that they've come out with the Olsen block, it's kind of a moot point. Or another thing is certain people don't like Bowden setups where you have the feeder separate from the hot end through a tube and it has to rely on force, where you can't print soft filaments with that. That's another issue. You know, does it make it a bad machine? Absolutely not. It's still a very good machine, especially for its time era, where it's like in the case of the Thingomatic, mechanically with some upgrades, it works really well. Once I got the IGUS bushings in it, special thanks to them for being gracious enough eons ago to donate them to me. That was really nice of them. Put in a better hot end, put in a better extruder, and the thing prints stuff. I mean, it's like these need a little bit of cleanup work because I did them together and I peeled the wrap off, but I did these Jolbot legs at 175% on the machine, and you'd think they were probably done on a regular one. You know, I had Angus freaking out when he saw the torture cube, and he's like, "You did that on the Thingomatic?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, but you know, it's like, even in the case of the machines like that, there's still things that have to be mentioned, even though overall the machine may be very good. There are key points that people are going to go, I didn't know that. You got to assume that your audience has zero knowledge in the topic that you're talking about, and you need to cater them in that aspect. I'm not saying you treat them like they're 5-year-olds and they don't know anything, but you have to assume that they don't understand all the technical stuff, so you got to go into details and explain it.
Like Jeff was saying, everyone's viewpoint of the same machine is different. And Joe from 3D Maker Noob was saying that that's why people need to watch more than one video. It's you just can't take one reviewer's word for everything. It pays to watch multiple videos to kind of get a gist of what other people's reaction is to the same product.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a good reviewer. Like, I'm just going to mention, because I know off the top of my head, Tom from Tom's 3D P over in Germany, and Angus over at Maker's Muse in Australia. Both of them are like, don't just take my word for it. Go watch other people's videos, or they'll even link to other people's videos in a card and be like, look, this is just my opinion. Go find other people's opinions if you're really interested in the machine, because the more opinions that you hear, the more you can kind of collate the different things. Different people might have different issues. Different people might have different opinions, but you can kind of, if you're really, OCD about it, you can almost make a list of everybody's pros and cons, and I'll bet you could find at least 2 points that are in the same pro and con category across the machines, and you can kind of start to notice a trend and go, okay, multiple people didn't like the power supply, but multiple people liked the Honda, and multiple people didn't like the heated bed because it was kind of weak, but multiple people did like the fact that, the machine was rigid. Is this, how did it perform on different materials? Things like that,
Well, just like with whenever I was really getting to a point where I wanted to buy a 3D printer, I was watching. I mean, every video I could watch, I was watching. And back at that time, when I first started getting into it, there wasn't that many as far as reviews on 3D printers. But you had your different ones who used different 3D printers. And for instance, Chuck from Chuck's 3D printing, he goes and he always used the Da Vinci back at that time. That's the only printer he had, and so he had like 2 different models at that point that he was using. And I came very, very, very close to buying a Da Vinci based off of watching his videos. And that was right about the time when he started having some problems with them, and he started coming out with saying, okay, this is what I'm dealing with right now, to the point where he was ready to start reflashing them and, get away from the lockdown software that Da Vinci had in it. And based off of that is when I started kind of thinking, maybe I should wait off. And that's when I got my G-Tech Aluminum i3 was at that point, because I thought, well, if I've got to do upgrades to that printer and spend that much money on it, why don't I buy a cheaper printer and throw the upgrades at it?
No, it's totally fair. I mean, I'll be honest, back when I was looking at 3D printers, I came this close to buying the MakerBot Replicator 2X when they had started going closed source with their software and things like that, because I thought dual extrusion back in the day would be a really good idea. Okay, that's cool. Get dual extrusion, I can do 2 colors, soluble supports, all that stuff. And then when I started to read about it more and I figured out that you were locked into their software, I'm like, I don't know if I'm totally comfortable with that. And then I really started to lean again towards the Ultimaker, because it was getting really good reviews. You could use, I didn't really fully understand the concept of open software, but at least I liked the fact that I knew that if the software that controlled it was crap, I wasn't locked into it. Kind of like with these Bluetooth controlled toys, unless somebody writes their own software, you're stuck with the UI, and if it's garbage, good luck. And that's definitely not the same as a 3D printer, but the more that I've played with one, I totally, like the fact that the slicers have the simple settings, but it's nice to also go in there and just change everything as required, because, if you can't change anything and you're pretty much locked in there, you're stuck. So that's a good example as well of looking around, seeing decent reviews on things, but then when I really sat down and looked at it like, oh, okay, wow, yeah, that might not be a good choice. Glad I did that.
Right. And I think that was a good time to kind of talk about the elephant in the room. Now, there's a many, and I'm guilty of it as well, where we deal with a 3D printer company, or in a lot of other instances, a lot of people are dealing with GearBest and different companies like that, to where they use a lot of affiliate links. And to me, the affiliate links are just that one extra thing to help a channel try to get by. To me, it's not a sign of being a sellout or whatever a lot of people want to look at it. I look at it as a way for a channel to try to make a little something extra. But there are some channels that that's all they push. It's literally a advertisement. I've seen a cut, and there's not a whole lot of them, but there are channels out there that will just push that product and push that product to where it's almost to the point of being obnoxious.
No, I totally know what you mean. I'm just going to use, because it's something I've designed up for myself and it's generic here, this little steeple cab chassis that I had 3D printed in a nylon. But it's like, they'll literally be like, you have to buy this product. This is the greatest chassis you will ever find for your train. And if you don't have this, oh, you're not going to be the cool guy at the train show with this. So you got to buy it. Use the affiliate link down below and we'll get a kickback. And you got to buy this. Like, literally, they're like in your face the whole time, screaming at you. You got to buy this. You got to buy this. You got to buy this. And if somebody does that enough, much as you want to resist the urge, you're kind of like, well, fine, if they said you need to buy it a lot, I might as well. But yeah, I mean, it's like, there are some channels where it's just like, you feel like they're almost using the affiliate links as a way to get around this is a paid spot. Like, I'm being paid directly by the company. They're using the affiliate links as kind of like a loophole to get around it. And to me, yes, it might technically be legal, but it's very shady at best. We'll put it that way. There's lots of things that might be technically legal, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. It doesn't look good for your reputation on the long run. I mean, those channels also tend to just crash and burn. When one little dramatic thing happens, they just go, and then that's all you ever heard of them.
Yeah, that's true. I see Zipcord says you're no Billy Mays, Calvin.
Give it time. Give it time. Calvin Witt, C-Dub.
Come on. Don't you have a tub of OxyClean over there? Come on, do us a pitch on some OxyClean.
Dude, long story short, as a kid, I did the pitch for OxyClean at my relative's house in New Jersey. That was great. You want me to try and do it completely off memory from like how many years ago it was? Hi, Billy Mays here for OxyClean, the oxygen-fueled stain fighter, and I forgot the rest. Holy crap, Daniel Noray just showed up. I'm going to shut up. Powered by the... No, it was like powered by the water and air that you and I breathe and drink, so it's like safe on all your color-fast fabrics or something. Yeah, you know.
3D Maker Dude. Damn it, I want to buy a train now.
Hey, yo, check it out. You know, I got the chassis, they got the cab, and then, oh my gosh, it's a model train now. I've got some stuff I'm designing up for it, so you'll see it. If you guys stick around for this coming Saturday, I have a video coming out where I'm unboxing like $730 in 3D prints. It's pretty epic, and there's some train stuff in there. Hint, hint.
How you doing, Rick?
No, my dad is watching. I did not pay for 95% of it. My friend Scott did for a project, so don't worry. I got already paid.
Your dad says try for Anthony Sullivan first.
Hey, I was put on the spot. I have not seen an OxyClean commercial in I don't know how long.
I did last night. I saw one with it was with Anthony Sullivan. In fact, he was doing it.
Oh my god! Oh geez, now my dad's doing it in the chat. Oh, we're screwed.
Mother Nature approves, safe for all your fabrics.
Those were the days. I will say Billy Mays was definitely the guy who could yell at you on TV and sell you something, but he did it in such a way that it didn't feel like you were being forced and coerced into it, if you know what I mean. He knew how to get the message across without making you feel like he was taking control of you and forcing you to go to the store and buy the product. That's one skill that he has that a lot of other people don't, if you know what I mean.
I see we have the great one in the house. How you doing, Greg?
You got Greg, you got Daniel. This is great. So back to the topic of crappy reviews.
That's not what this was about. It's not about that.
Okay, back to the topic of affiliate links then. Come on, Jimmy. I'll be honest, up until this point, as of this time of filming, I do not and have not used affiliate links. And my personal opinion on them is I feel they have their place. You know, you have to disclose that it's an affiliate link by law, which is fair. But at the same time, I feel like if an affiliate link is going to make somebody alter their impression of a product to try and drive more traffic to it, then you should not use the affiliate link, period. It's like in the case of Chris with his over practical printing, with his GearBest machines, including some of the ones that sadly did not live up to expectations. I give him credit for still having the affiliate link there, but going, look, I gave my opinions. This is my honest opinion. I have the affiliate link there. So if you really still feel like you should buy this product, here is the link. You know.
Chris says that's actually not entirely correct. Correct.
Oh, crap. What did I get wrong now?
I'm gonna shoot him over the link to this hangout so he can come on here and grill you.
Do it. Do it.
You want me to?
It's up to you. So Chris said you had to disclose that you are an affiliate somewhere online. That's what I figured. So if I said that wrong, my bad. What I meant to say was whenever you're doing it, you have to disclose it. Yeah, let's get Chris in here. Okay, so what he was saying was you had to disclose that you're an affiliate somewhere online, the website or wherever, but you don't have to say every link posted is an affiliate link. I got it now. Okay, so my bad on that. The main point I was trying to make is you do, by law, have to disclose if it's an affiliate link or you're paid or anything like that. But yeah, the whole affiliate link thing, I feel like there's two groups of people. There's those who are not fully aware of the law on it, and then there's those who are aware of the law but just kind of try and skirt around it, like, you know, if nobody notices, I think I'm good. And they kind of like sneak in there and you're like, that's not cool.
What did you post on Twitter? You posted a picture of me cleaning my camera? Dirty dog.
You saw the photo.
I didn't see that one.
Let's see what roasting everybody's giving me on Twitter right now for my minor mistake, which was an honest mistake, which proves that not everybody is fully familiar with. Oh, good, nobody's roasting me yet. Proof that nobody, that, you know, even people like me who haven't done it aren't the most in tune with all the rules. But the main thing is better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's just like on mine. The very first printer I got was the G-Tech, of course. And since there was nobody else really printing with G-Tech printers that I could find on YouTube, I just went ahead and whenever I got to the point where I built a rapport with them and they gave me an affiliate link, I went ahead and I put it on there and I just left it on the channel because, let's face it, about all my printers in here are G-Tech printers at the moment. You know, someday that'll probably change. I'll get into some other printers, hopefully, but for now, that's what I've got. And I say, why not, you know, have it on there in case somebody says, hey, I'd really like to see more about that printer, you know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, with the Amazon affiliate links, actually I just started one now where it's like you select the products you want on that page. And I like it better because that way I can actually take the products I use and gather them into one place and say, hey, guys, if you're interested in anything that you see on the channel, here's a great way of finding it.
Yeah. I mean, one point that Chris made, I'm going to rattle it off just so that way it's on the record because people can't see the chat. He goes, in my honest opinion, affiliate links are a great way for us to subsidize our content as long as we're not shoving them down people's throats. And then Jeff over at Print3D goes, I concur, Chris. And yeah. I third that as well. I am all for people having external sources of income to their channel, as long as they're ethically and legally correct, I'm all for it. I mean, when I bought my Ultimaker, I'm 99.99% sure I used Jerry over at Barnacle channel's affiliate link for it because I knew he was going to get a little bit of a kickback, and it also looks good for a company to see that people are using somebody's affiliate link. It shows them that the product, it's a good metric to go, okay, yeah, this person really is getting the word out about the product and we are getting hits through their link. Maybe we should continue to work with them, because you never know. Even if somebody's a big channel, this might be the very, very first time they've ever had a company send them a product for free to test out or cut them a discount or something like that. And you don't know if, or they may have even bought it, but the company was nice enough to give them an affiliate link to see if it would generate traffic. For all you know, your click could be what it takes to move them over the threshold from not interested to, okay, this person's actually driving some traffic to this. They've hit our threshold. We should probably take a look at them, and it could lead to bigger and better things. So, you know, I'm 1,000% for it. It just has to be done in the appropriate manner.
Yeah, it has to do with a little bit of tact. I mean, you don't want to just take and cram it up there and have the little poster things all over your videos.
You don't want to be like subliminally flashing, here's my affiliate link, use my link, make money. You know, you don't want to be doing it like that. That's
not a bad idea though. Let's try it.
If you guys go to the extras channel, you can see the worst ever commercial that was ever created for something I designed. It was epic. See if I can dig it up really fast.
Oh man.
Let's see if it'll still work. If it won't kick me out. When I made that terrible
no puppy monkey babies.
No, when I made that terrible video about the fake GoPro handle commercial with Danielle, that one is like intentionally the worst ever commercial that we could make. Even that, at least that one was done in pure comedy. So, and there's no like links to buy stuff or anything like that. So, you know. So if anybody wants to watch it afterwards, there you go. It is like the world's worst commercial ever.
Of course, is that product placement behind Jimmy? Let's see. What have I got here on the screen?
Oh, let's see. You got the Back to the Future
up here, which I paid for out of my pocket.
Really?
The AFO, which I paid for out of my pocket.
you got Daniel and the Race bus that you paid for out of pocket.
Well, actually, let's see. That one, the filament was sent to me. Or no, take it back. That one, I bought that filament. So yeah, I paid for that. I paid for that extruder.
Paid for the G-Tech. Then you got the G-Tech that you're blocking that was given to you for reviewing.
Yeah, I got my original one down here on the bottom shelf. That's the one I paid for completely out of pocket on eBay. This one, I paid 3/4 of it. I got a little bit of a discount to get on that, and that's when I first really started working with G-Tech. This one was sent to me for review, and then the one sitting in front of me over here was sent to me for review.
And then you have the machine from the company that will remain nameless on this stream that you were given by the 3D printing professor.
And you can only see a couple of its legs there. Okay, I don't have a problem with the company. Okay, I don't have a problem. Like I said on my live stream the other day. I don't know the company. I've never dealt with any of the printers, so I don't know if it's a good printer, if it's a bad printer. I don't know much about the company except for what I see on Twitter. And a lot of it may or may not have been taken out of context. I honestly don't know. But at the same time, I don't know.
No, I'm 100% with you there. My take on that whole thing is I just prefer not to name their name just because I don't want to fuel all the drama and controversy that's going on regarding them. But I tend to agree that I tend to be somewhat neutral on them, although I will say my opinion of them, I've never had a very high opinion of them. but that's just because based off of the things that sources that I feel reputable have said and information that I will not be disclosing on stream because of this private information that I was told by an anonymous source that really backed up what I had presumed about the company. But I'm not naming any names. I'm not naming companies. I'm not going to discuss it any further on stream. So that's just my opinion on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like Jimmy, I don't have firsthand experience with their products. But at the same time, my opinion of them is not the highest based off information I've been told, both through social media and private sources. So I leave it at that.
Sounds fair enough. Rick says we need to get shirts with affiliate links on it.
I've yet to get a sponsor, Rick. So you know,
I'll sponsor you. You can just put an affiliate link on it.
That doesn't benefit me. Oh yeah, that's great. Let me drive more traffic to Jimmy's dumb channel, which is like totally siphoning all my subscribers away. How dare I do that?
That'd be bad.
I'm just kidding on that part. It's all good. I don't mind. I'll put it this way. Being an indie channel like mine where I just do random stuff definitely makes you a little bit harder to pinpoint on things, if you know what I mean. But, you know.
Sponsored by Supercuts. I was going to say great clips, but
this is going downhill fast. Should I put him in timeout? Let's see how long can I put him in timeout for.
Don't you dare. You know what? I'm going to go one step further. No. This is going to be great.
What'd you do, Jimmy? What'd you do?
You'll find out in just a moment.
Don't worry, if you're still watching this, Dad, we just temporarily suspended you from chat. Don't worry, it goes away, hopefully. This is what happens when
you gotta do that, man. That's just wrong.
This is so bad. Greg's saying we should make my dad a mod.
I just did. That's what I did. I gave your dad a great big blue wrench.
That is awesome.
How long did you put him in timeout for?
Said 300, but I can't remove it, I don't think.
You can't remove it? I can't even find it over here to stop it.
It'll come back in a minute, don't worry.
Well, 300 is more than a minute.
Don't worry, Dad. If you want to call into this line, my cell phone is sitting right off to the right of the screen.
He is sitting there right now. Hey, Calvin.
Chris goes, just remember you're never too old for your pops to take you over his knee. I don't think his back is up for it. Don't worry, Chris.
Oh, that's just wrong.
We all know Chris is more wrong, though.
Oh, man. You're so wrong, man.
I know. Don't worry. If you heard some of the stuff that gets said off camera, you know. It's hot in here.
Uh-oh. He's going to start singing that song. It's getting hot in here. He's getting naked on the stream.
Oh, jeez. And then everything at this point on from the chat stream, we're just going to set it to private and it's just going to go, Jupe.
You want me to play some stripper music for the next piece of clothing coming off?
No. We're good. The guy's probably like, oh crap, I can't get in the chat right now. What's going on? Oh shoot.
Chris says save that for Twitch.
I used to do live streaming of me designing stuff on Twitch, but trying to do that was sucking up so much non-existent bandwidth. I just don't have time to do it anymore because I do it so randomly. I just gave up on it, to be honest. It's not worth my time. I mean, it's cool to watch and stuff, but it's like if I'm gonna do a video, I'm just gonna do speed design.
You know, I've got a Twitch channel, but I've never done anything on it.
I tried it, but I'll be honest, I found it a bit harder to set up than YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I understand Twitch is more geared towards gamers and things like that, so they're more interested in running it through like OBS for screen share and things like that. But quite honestly, it's kind of a pain to set up. I mean, once you got it set up like this, it's easy to do, but the setup is a nightmare.
As much as I hate what YouTube is doing right now to us as creators, it's still kind of like your first girlfriend. No matter what, you're still going to be partial to it. It's like right now I started that other channel on that other platform, and I honestly don't know how that's going to pan out, and I honestly don't see a whole lot of future on that one, to be 100% honest. But I mean, at the same time, it's more like thumbing the nose at the way they're doing stuff.
like I said in my tweet, I mostly did it as a placeholder because I know from watching other people, if you don't take the time to go around and claim all the URLs, usernames, everything like that for yourself, once you start getting big, somebody's going to do that, and they're going to hold you over a barrel for it, and I didn't want to do that. So just in case things take off on the alternate website, I didn't want to be left out in the cold for a username, be stuck with some crappy one. So that's the main reason why I did it. And I do want to see if using an alternate platform does help drive traffic. I'm not exactly counting on it, but it doesn't hurt to at least try on another platform that's gaining momentum. I'm going to put it that way. To be perfectly honest, it would be very hard for something to eclipse YouTube just because it is such a household common name. That does not mean that it could not happen. I just don't see it happening in a fast enough time frame to really make a big difference.
I was really reading up on it today, and it pretty much they don't start showing ads on your videos until you've had over about 300 views on the video. Then they'll start showing ads on it. So it's like, yeah.
And especially when you're a small channel like mine and you're starting up a second one, oh geez, good luck with that. I mean, I also applied to become a verified account. They said it helps if you have other stuff, but they're like, if you can include other social media platforms that you're on. So I linked to mine. I'm like, okay, this proves that I'm for real. You know, it pretty much it just takes off the data cap on how much you can upload and things like that. So
yeah, I did the same thing last night. I applied for it too. And I see Joe's getting ready to take off. Thank you very much, Joe, for joining. I appreciate it.
I'm scooting off on your scooter or motorcycle or whatever. Or bicycle or whatever the heck you drive. No, yeah, it's one of those things that, like I said, in the very worst case scenario, if it just crashes and burns, that's the worst that can happen. You just delete the channel, videos go away, or you just decide to keep it for the sake of keeping it, just in case.
Yeah, you know, that's right.
I'll put it this way: I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing here, but I do think personally, jumping a little bit into that ad crisis thing, personally speaking, I have, like I said at the beginning, I have, except for a couple of random hits, I have not had any problems. So I honestly hope and pray and think that it's kind of being corrected. But for a while there, it was a little bit infuriating. I will totally agree. I mean, I wasn't hit very hard. I have not even hit my first $100 payout on Google. For all the time I've had my YouTube channel, over probably 2.5, 3 years now, I think. Probably about 3 years, because I did the GoPro video about 2 years ago where I got the intro. So about 3 years now, I would say. And still I'm about halfway to the payout point. I'm a little bit over halfway. So
why don't you activate your super chat?
I have to be 1,000 or more subscribers to do that to get super chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm talking about Google AdSense here.
Right. Well,
So,
super chat is tied in with that. So anytime somebody makes a donation, it goes to the Google AdSense, and that's how you get paid out.
I see. Didn't know that, but yeah, being that I'm only hovering around 753, 754.
We need to get you up to 1,000.
Yeah, I better go out and buy some fake subs. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. I don't believe in doing that. That's like,
you know, when I first got started, you know, I got a bunch of emails of people offering that kind of a thing. And I could never make any sense out of why a person would spend out money to get subs. It just didn't make any sense because, you know, as soon as you quit paying them money, the subs are going to go away.
or what's happened before is on Instagram, especially for a while there, literally you would get follows by tons of these follow bots that were offering a service like that. Then Instagram caught on to their method of doing it, boom, wiped them all out. And then literally people were going on there whining about how they lost like 25 to like 200 subscribers. I'm not talking about paid ones. I'm just talking about the bots. And I would always comment, they were just bots. They were going to get deleted anyways. They weren't even real people. You know, what can you do? You know, don't cry about it. I mean, eventually they were going to get kicked off the platform anyways. So it's better that you came in swiftly and knocked them out. It's an ongoing issue, but it's definitely gotten a lot better. They've got a lot more anti-bot verification stuff in there. But yeah, I mean, I never got it. I heard a story. I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but story goes that this guy spent like a couple $100 to gain like all these fake followers. And then some social media platform, I'm assuming probably Instagram, because they've really cracked down on it, comes through and wipes them all out, and the dude drops from like all these subs down to like 5 overnight, and like totally loses his prowess on social media. And in a situation like that, you're just like, you had it coming. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna do something like that, don't be surprised when it's just like, and you're done.
Exactly.
Chris is saying, I just got 2 new subs. Time to fire up Social Blade.
Sweet. Now we're just going to get you 200 more.
755, looking good. Let's do live subscriber count. Let's see if it goes up at all. One up, 753, 753. I honestly like never check. Oh, yay. Yeah, nice one, Curtis. Real nice one.
Signing Calvin up for the bots.
Honestly, those are like the bane of my existence. Honestly, I almost wonder how many of these quote trolls on YouTube are actually bots. And the only reason why I say that is Jerry and Jay are always like, the interesting thing is whenever you see these bots, these troll accounts, they all have like no videos and no subscribers. It's weird.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, yeah, Greg, I have 2 Instagram accounts, 2 Twitter accounts, and technically 2 YouTube accounts. So if you aren't following every single one, I don't hold it against you. It's a little bit confusing.
I know. I always try going to your Twitter one. I always go for the Make It With Calvin because I always associate that one with your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that one's supposed to be the official one. That's actually where YouTube auto posts the videos to when they come out. The other one I set up a long time ago, and that one I'm trying to make more of my personal account, and then I'm trying to make the Make It With Cal one the official one. I'm just terrible at the social media thing, to be honest. But yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to separate the two, so that way I can kind of keep YouTube and personal separate, so that way the two weren't becoming like mashed together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I link the main one? Yeah, I'll link you to my main one. Just give me a sec here. Bear with me, guys, as well. I've got a terrible case of the allergies. So, yeah. Hey, yeah, you totally gave my dad.
OJ's out of jail.
You're good. Sorry for putting you in timeout. I didn't realize that I could not undo that after you've done it.
That'd be funny. I'm back. No, I better not say that word.
Mister, I keep a clean YouTube channel. Totally kills that tonight.
I'll say this as I go as soon as we hit the stop broadcast button.
All the good stuff comes flying out, and we're like,
son of a.
You missed all the good stuff. I don't recommend going back for about 20 minutes during it. It gets kind of crazy in there. No, Rick, you're not a troll. You're not a troll. What I mean by the troll accounts is the people that come along to the videos and go, ew, you're fat, you're ugly, your channel sucks. You know, that's the kind of stuff that I don't like and I can't stand. And they're all so generic. You have to wonder if it's either somebody who really has no life going there copy pasting, or if it's somebody who just has a little robot that just looks for tags and just dumps it on there. Because I know that's how spam accounts work, that spam your channel with, hey, check out this channel thing if you want to grow your channel. I don't give a crap. No, Chris, Coke is better than Pepsi.
Yes, Coke is much better than Pepsi. This is the only thing I could find. Okay, so go fund me for Calvin's hair.
First, it was the Dotson. Now it's the hair.
We're going to get you a buzz cut.
Oh, heck no. My head would probably turn blue and fall off.
I just lost a sub. Oh, well.
Oh, you have so many at this point. It's like
a roller coaster.
Yeah. Yes, Chris, I know the Dotson. The Dotson is like Jackie Chan and Jimmy Carrey Lion. They never die.
I'm not dissing Pepsi. Pepsi's good, but Coke is better.
I'll be honest, I've never had Pepsi. I've just always liked the taste of Coke, Dr. Pepper, and root beer. So I just left it at that.
When it comes to Diet Pepsi, between Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke actually does have a better taste than Diet Pepsi. I don't know why, but it does. But on the other hand, Pepsi does make another diet, when I forget what the name of it is. It's not Zero, that's the Coke version of it. But it actually tastes pretty good.
AJ says Sundrop is better. I've always wanted to try it. I've heard it's kind of like a grapefruit flavored one.
I never heard of it.
It's something that's sold in the South, I think, mostly.
Chris, diet anything tastes like a... He's exactly right, too. Man.
I will never forget the time I was over at my friend's house, and we were all really thirsty after playing with our Nitro RC cars out in front, and all that was in the fridge that was cold was some nasty diet drink, and we go to take a swig of it, and we're like, I'd rather drink Nitro Fuel instead. This stuff was so bad. Oh,
Nancy says drink Diet Pepsi if it's free. Yeah, that's what happened. Is my two aunts, they came over this was it yesterday? And so my Aunt Nancy calls me up and says, by the way, we found some Diet Pepsis. We stuck them on the front porch for you. So on the way out here, I stopped past the front porch and grabbed it.
This says now Cactus Cooler. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Cactus Cooler reminds me of New Year's and Halloween over at Busted Up Chapel in Simi Valley as a kid. That was like the only 2 times of the year that I'd have Cactus Cooler. That stuff was good.
We have 3D print in the house. How you doing? Did I see let's see. A moment ago I thought I saw Keith. Yeah, Keith is in here. How you doing, Keith?
Yeah. I said hey to him in chat with my ninja hands.
He always pops in after we get done talking about the details of what we're going to talk about.
It's always so embarrassing when somebody cruises in like Daniel Norray or Kat, like right when we're going to conclude the stream and everybody's like, hey, what's up? And we're like, seriously, I feel bad, but we're like all going to crash in 3 minutes. So it's nice having you. And we're like that. And it's just like, you feel so bad because you know that they wanted to come in and see the topic. But then it's like, man, you have to feel bad for them because it is more fun to watch a show live when you have the interaction and stuff. But, you know, it's all good, Keith. I was actually napping before I went on stream. Allergies have been just whipping my butt the last 2 days, so I'm not 100% when I'm done with the stream. I'm taking some Benadryl and I'm crashing.
Benadryl sounds good right about now.
Bad joke with a former friend of mine. So hey Rick, if you want to feel better about your engineer making bad measurements, I was modeling up this little rail car here and I made up this guy, but somehow I managed to make it a little bit smaller by accident. I don't know how that happened, but I do like it that it's smaller, so that's your personal opinion. But it makes you feel better. Even people like me make mistakes more often than we care to admit.
Thank you very much, Chris, for joining. I appreciate it.
How are you going, Chris? What does Greg say? Oh, okay. Yeah, the bell thing. I do not get that bell thing. Despite, quote, ringing the bell, it still doesn't work very often.
I know, it doesn't.
Tell me all about time zones, 3D print tech design. I hate them.
So it's 7:52 over in Sweden.
Dang. That means if we can hang out for about like another 20 minutes, we're probably gonna get Daniel Norray cruising in here like, what's up, guys? Oh wait, shoot, he's still in here somewhere, right?
Keith's asking if I started my new job. I started my new job up there at Sears selling appliances. So I'm doing that now. So I'm not locked in my dirty dungeon I used to have. Part of me misses my office, but at the same time, I'm out there among people again.
The whole time he's staring at people like, you're not going to take that, are you? You're not going to walk that way. I'm watching you.
Guy walks in with sunglasses the other day. Guy walks in with sunglasses the other day, starts heading over toward the intimates department. Hey guys, you got this guy on the I mean, like, what are you doing? Sorry, force of habit. Okay. First thing first, whenever somebody walks into a store and they got on sunglasses and they go onto the second floor of that store and they got a great big bag that's empty, usually they're not up to a whole lot of good.
Take advice from somebody whose job was to watch people doing things like that, and you'll learn things not to do to not get on security's radar when you're not doing anything, Jimmy, Daniel needs you to give him some more good luck by petting the little golden bust of him.
Take out the golden nori. The golden nori.
We seriously need to take that thing and we need to make one in like Bronzeville and polish it up really good. And then put it like on this little shrine behind us. And then we can get Daniel to come on by and autograph it and bless it and all good things like that.
That would be so cool to do that in the Bronzeville. That would be really, really good. And I'm wanting to print it in that in this marble. I want to give that a shot too.
I would actually, you know what, that would help. I think that marble would actually look cooler. Just saying.
Well, will I be doing any YouTube videos on Sears appliances? Not that I'm aware of. No. Anyone know who the THTCH channel or oh man, I'm going blind now. THT's channel is.
He means the hot tip.
Yeah, the hot tip. Now, I don't know who it is, but I think it's not who I thought it was. I thought it was somebody that was trolling themselves, so on like that. But I think I was wrong about that.
Get into that. They're not doing things like what I sometimes do. Like when you roast yourself and you make comedic comments, you can definitely tell when it's somebody roasting themselves. When it's somebody else on there, I have no clue who it is, but I get a lot of kicks out of it, I will admit. At
first I thought it was that person. And that's the reason why I pretty much just kind of blocked it, you know, didn't want to pay no attention. Then somebody made a comment to me about it, and I went back and started reading through it. It's like, okay, maybe not. So I unblocked. And then I saw the video that he did the other day, and it's like, okay, nope, that's that's somebody else.
I need to go find that because I totally need to give that channel. I've only followed their Twitter.
Yeah, I did that. I followed the Twitter, but then yesterday I saw the one video that's up on the channel, and when I watched it, it's like, okay, I'm subscribing to this guy.
I'm not going to say anything on stream regarding the channel that this may or may not be parodying, but I have a personal reason why I might find lots of pleasure in somebody poking fun at them, and I'm just leaving it at that. I'm not going to say any more for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Same with you, Jimmy. Don't say anything. Jimmy's all like, gosh darn it, I got so much dirt I just want to dump right now, but I'm not going to.
What is this? Oh, man, thank you so much. You did not have to do that.
Hey, Jimmy, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We need to meet up. We need to go. We're going to go to dinner now.
Dude, we totally got to go to Nana's. We got to build that Moai.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jimmy can now buy more Diet Pepsi and grape non-branded powdered flavored drink that he puts in his red Solo cup.
That's what I actually went over there to get, and we didn't have any, so I went back up front and got the Diet Pepsi.
Jimmy, I got a good idea. We can use that towards the TV&J fund for
yeah,
when we go. Do the Moai Man. I can just cruising with the tray full of things. What's up?
Yes, we did do the Nana Moai.
We'll be down for that. I will be honest, the next 2 weekends I am booked but out because of getting ready for the train show and then the great. Oh, come on, Greg.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that.
In the room. You might want to clear them out of the room now. When did the SEC regulations for late night TV start?
Start doing like Jerry and start going.
Oh gosh, no.
Let me go back into the settings. I'm going to set for 18 or older.
Curtis is asking, is that the official name of the printer? You mean the Nana PB&J Moai?
Clearly, Greg is cheap with the nudies.
Who spiked Jimmy's Pepsi today?
Oh man!
You're right, Nancy's probably watching this going, "Oh geez, Jimmy, you're really going downhill, dude. We totally got to sit down and talk."
She's like, we got to keep him away from the caffeine. I don't drink that much caffeine, honestly.
I'm the same way. I'm pretty darn sensitive to this stuff for that reason.
I could drink it. That's no problem. I mean, I used to drink Cokes all the time with the sugar and everything, but yeah, I've been kind of backing off on a lot of that.
I hear you. No, why do I have visions of if we're going out to Vegas for Print 3D Channel's event? Why do I have visions of you picking me up at Courtney's and I come cruising out of there with just like a cookie tray full of PB&Js, and we just gotta like ration them so that way we don't eat them all within like the first 10 minutes on the road.
I see the 2-liter behind the box there. There better not be a 2-liter back there.
I'd plead the fifth if I snuck into Jimmy's set. I'm kidding, I didn't. I only vaguely remember where the sandblasting site is, and that's different. See, your Aunt Nancy saying it's not good for you, so you shouldn't do it, Jimmy.
Yeah, she's gonna take my. Well, she already went back to Fresno. She can't get hold of the rest of the Pepsis.
Give her time. She'll get.
I'm gonna snag them. I'm going to make sure I bring them in tonight.
Next photo is Jimmy with just like crashed out with like a whole bunch of empty Pepsi bottles around him, and Beth's gonna take the photo and be like, Jimmy had a little too much fun on stream tonight. Yeah, Greg, USPS does kind of suck. Although I had a bit of a bummer with UPS today. I did actually get the package delivered today. Normally at my mailbox, they drop off UPS around 1 to 2. So when my box didn't come in that I was expecting, I had another one come in, so it was no big deal. So when I had a box that I was expecting to come in, the other one that was supposed to come in didn't come in yet because it left the warehouse late. But somehow they managed to get it to my mailbox 25 minutes before closing, but sadly they notified me of it like right before they closed. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be in the area tomorrow because I got to take grandma to an appointment. So I might as well just swing over there and pick up the thing. You know, life will be great.
Yeah, that marble filament's pretty cool. Now, I've still been playing with it. I know that I've got a setting problem now. It's not just on the printer. It's in Cura. I've got something off on my settings because I got this to print on the D200. And at the very end, I had a layer shift. So
on my grainy end, it looks good to me though.
Yeah, I mean the color of that filament though is just amazing, and the detail of the model. I mean, I love that model. If I could just get one to complete all the way. Now, he did reslice it or redid it as a STL file, and so I had better luck with this one, but it still had that layer shift. So I still don't know if it's the file or if it's something in the settings. I honestly don't know.
I mean, here's what I would do. Find a similar model that's got about an equivalent height. Slice that, and just using cheap PLA so you're not wasting the marble stuff. Just grab the cheapest filament you have that you know reliably prints.
Yeah.
Print it in a machine that you know works. Print it in that machine. Maybe even do it simultaneously if you can. And see if you have the problem happening across both platforms. Maybe you could even do the Joelbot, because that one's actually a good torture print because it's tall. is kind of spindly, or maybe just go for something that you know is actually, you know what, go for a reliable print that you know is going to work, that's tall, even if it's just like a simple tall square thing or something like that. Go for something that you know is going to print that's tall. Nothing too complex though, because you're merely just trying to see if it can print tall stuff and if it's like a binding issue or something like that. But if you keep having the problem at around that same height across the board, then you know it's definitely a hardware issue, probably not a software issue.
Right.
My guess would be it's probably the Bowden tube binding on something.
Yeah,
That's
this is on a whole different printer. This was on the D200 instead of on the
Oh, really?
E180. So
Oh, really?
yeah, the E180. I mean, I finally got it to print all right, except for that one layer shift on right there. But it did all right.
That Marvel PLA is cool stuff.
I love it, and yeah, it is a PLA, by the way. It's not an ABS. ABS is just for these type of machines when you don't have an enclosed build area. It's just a little bit too rough to try to print with that.
Funny thing is, the Thingomatic right here with open sides, it actually prints ABS really well. I had to stop it because I don't let the Thingomatic run by itself without me around, because when it's done printing, it doesn't automatically shut the heated bed off.
Oh, really?
I need to try and change one of the M codes. But it was printing the 175% JoulBot, and you can still see it has the supports, but it's doing a nice job of it.
Yeah.
We all know if Angus was in here, he'd be totally like drooling over himself right now. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. As an open machine, it's seriously the best thing at printing ABS. Go figure.
That is funny, because I've always heard that you can't print with an open printer.
I mean, and I'm not saying that I don't crank. I have to. I'll be honest. When the temperature drops, I have to crank the temps up. And I'll be honest, the layer bonding is not perfect. I mean, I can still, you know, break it, or I broke the other one off. But you know, the layer bonding might not be perfect, but for the application at hand, it gets the job done.
Right.
You know, I also dropped the temperature as I went up from 255 to 245 to 235 because of the legs. I was getting some heat buildup, but I think because I'm printing the legs and the head together, I can keep the temperature up. But I have noticed that when it gets colder, I have to crank the temps up to keep the decent layer bonding. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a giant fan of printing an ABS, period, but I'm only printing with it because it's what I've got.
Right.
You know, I got a spool of the stuff a long time ago. It's what the machine prints nicely. It doesn't have a cooling fan, so it gets the job done. But I mean, the underside's not perfect of his head, but for, you know, no cooling fan or anything like that, it's fine by me. I mean, it'd clean up fine with a little bit of primer. So
yeah.
But I'm slowly working on the JoulBot video. That's going to be a ways out.
Man.
Because I had to slice them up into a bunch of pieces to get them to even fit on the machine at a reasonable size, and because I could scale it up, I'm like, that's a good thing. Because it's like those are the lower legs right there. So,
man,
you know. Yeah, I'll put it this way: next time we do a build, I'm gonna drag that thing along with me just for giggles and grins' sake. We can have it making lots of noise in the background, irritating everybody. You know, doing what it does with its rattly fan that I need to replace. And, you know, it's that character. But I still have to say, of both printers that I own, that one almost takes the cake as my favorite, just because it's so old and it always trips people up when I say that it works. And they're like, "So what you running for the electronics? The stock ones?" And they're like, "Oh, is it a ramps board?" I'm like, when that thing came out, they didn't even have the ramps board. I mean, literally, it's like some Mega 84 chipboard with 4 giant stepper driver boards, and then each one of those boards sucks so much current. They have one of those ATX power supplies. You know how they daisy chain the power connectors in parallel?
Yeah.
It's like boom, 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 boom into all the drivers because they suck so much power. It's like, this thing is not even remotely efficient, but it works, and I love it. It's like an old car. You know the thing gets terrible gas mileage, but you don't care. You're keeping the nostalgia alive. That's what I'm doing with that machine.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why I run it, is just to keep the nostalgia alive. And if the electronics died, I would change them, but for now, I'm just going to keep running it relatively stock as is, just for old time's sake, just to rub into people's faces. Yes, my ancient machine can print better than your new one. Deal with it.
Average Joe said his JoelBot video got demonetized.
Totally not cool, dude. Fight
YouTube
that.
is just they're just going nuts. And I like how that one, they came out with some little update thing about it. I was watching the video on that. Oh, we did the new update, and you're going to see a lot of videos become monetized that were demonetized, and this and that. But there will be some that are monetized that will become demonetized. Pretty much they're going with machine learning to take care of all this so they can cut a bunch of jobs, I'm guessing.
This is definitely an application where automation is not the way to go. Automation is fine as long as you have people to back up what the machine is thinking and to double check that the machine, if it is machine learning, it's doing it the right way. It's learning the right trends.
Yeah.
The problem is they gave it too much leeway and they just went, ooh, and then it totally targeted the wrong videos. And especially for bigger channels, it's very damaging, actually. Unless, I don't know how much bigger channels make off ad revenue, but to me personally, to rely solely on ad revenue for your income, or solely for something like Patreon for your income, is a very bad financial move. You need to have a third method: merchandising, licensing. Much as people hate it, sponsorships. There's, to really make it viable, you cannot rely on one source of income because it is so fickle, regardless of ad crisis or not. You can't. I think this is a good example for people. If you can't just rely on one source of income for your channel, or two sources of income that are very wishy-washy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's my 3 seconds of financial advice from the non-business major guy. but all that aside, it definitely does not, though, take the burden off the website for trying to make sure that they just don't go psycho and just take things down that are totally the wrong thing and they keep the wrong stuff up there. That's always frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
It benefits nobody in the long run.
No.
If you go on YouTube, you can find so much copyrighted stuff that's seemingly monetized. I don't know if the channel is making money off of it, because there's some things that it's like, under the terms of the agreement with YouTube, the license holder gets the revenue, but they still allow ads to play on it, and they allow the video to be kept up for advertising reasons, if you will. But the host is not making the income, which is fair. But in some cases, it's just flat out, they just will yank it. But for a time there, it seemed like, and still to this day, there's a lot of pop-up channels that are running like copyrighted shows like Family Guy and South Park and American Dad and things like that. They run for a couple of hours, and then YouTube comes along and kills the stream. But as fast as they kill them, there's 10 new ones.
Yep.
It's kind of frustrating. Those are the ones that they should be going after with human intervention before they pull the plug. But, the whole thing is like, in one sense, I feel like it was slightly blown out of proportion, but then in another sense, I do feel like people's outcry was justified. So I'm not saying that either side was in the right or in the wrong. I'm still neutral on it when I say that, but I do feel like people did slightly freak out over it. But at the same time, I can understand their concern, especially if it's their source of income.
Yeah.
CKB Productions agrees. He goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yep.
Ditto that.
Exactly.
So many big channels will tell you have to diversify, because if you don't, one little thing and your source of income is gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Speaking of gone, you want to go ahead and call it?
I say we call it. I'm crashing fast.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining. I sure appreciate it. And thank you, Calvin, for joining me.
No problem. Next week, we'll be hosting it over on my channel, talking about who knows what. We always come up with a good idea like 5 minutes before the stream starts, so it's no big deal.
Greg says he wants 2 more hours.
Yeah, 2 more hours of the black set. Okay, we can do that. We can do that, Greg. So do you want 2 hours of, you know, pretty much this with me like sleeping in the background? We can totally do that.
Hey, Joe. Joel came in there. How you doing? He probably came in right as we're getting ready to go out.
What did I say earlier? Every time we go to watch to the end of the show, somebody cruises in and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" We're all like,
we got to fix this. Oh man.
I don't know. I still vote that the 11 o'clock time gets more people in. Maybe we could bump it.
Honestly, okay. So everybody, we'll put this up to a vote. I'll do it over on Twitter. But go over to Twitter. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you're following Calvin. I'm going to post a question on there. And my question is, what would you guys rather us do? Have our stream at 10 p.m. Pacific time or at 11 p.m. Pacific time? Because me and Calvin go back and forth about this. I have a theory that the majority of my viewers are in Europe and would rather see it, you know, more their time. But he thinks we should go ahead and have it at 10 o'clock. What do you think?
Why not split the difference and go for 10:30 so that way if we... No, I'm dead serious.
I know. That's actually not a bad idea.
It sounds stupid, but when you think about it, you start at 10:30 so we can catch the people who are here till about 11. Then when 11 rolls around, the 11 o'clock people leave, and then the 11 time slot people cruise in. And even if we go for half an hour, the 11 o'clock people, everybody gets an equal part of the show. And if we go a little bit longer, it's fair. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a wacky time to start at, but being that we really can't do the stream, honestly, for more than about an hour where we're both just like mentally toasted, I think personally speaking, 10:30 makes more sense. Just so that way, if we run for about an hour, hour and a half, at least we can hit both the USA and the European audience. But the problem is also it's just like there are so many other people streaming. It's a little bit like live TV. Can't watch 10 channels at once.
True.
But I personally am voting 10:30 just because it's a good split the difference. I know it's a little bit funky, but it splits the difference and hopefully it gives people in both time areas some time to get on the show. I almost say do 10:30 for the next show until we figure out a finalized time so we can kind of split the difference. How about, I'm just firing off the top of my head here. How about for the next stream on my channel, we start at 10:30, see how that goes. And then we officially decide if we're going to keep it 10 or we're going to bump to 11. And we know we're going to sadly miss people in both camps. But I do think that we should seriously have 3 poll options, 10, 10:30, and 11, and see which one makes more sense. Because you never know. That's just
My mom's in Rome right now. Ask her.
You can ask her for me because I don't think I can text her without getting like charged a bajillion rates. I don't think she's even watching this show right now.
My Aunt Nancy says 10 o'clock, but she's getting ready to go to Japan here in the next, I think on Friday.
Dude, everybody's traveling internationally. What the heck is up with this?
I know. Are we the only ones that don't have a passport?
That mean Dino and Ray's gonna like fly out to California and like pick up Cat along the way?
Okay, let's go ahead and call it. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great night, and we will see you next week on Calvin's channel.
At 10:30.
At 10:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Because I'm going to be in control.
What's up, George? Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.